Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Taking a look here at SUI, seeing what's going on. The question I'm getting a lot right now is SUI or SUI gonna go ahead and break its descending channel here? In short, it should, but once again, it's not a guarantee, right? We got a pretty significant resistance here that's held pretty strong here at 475. Till we break above that or close above it, I don't feel super convinced. If you see my play out from yesterday, we were either hypothetically going to reject off of 455, which didn't happen, or 475, which so far has, right? Again, it's a little premature, a little too early to tell, but I wouldn't recommend necessarily being a breakout trader at this exact moment. If anything, we wait for this level here to be retested bullishly and then continue higher. That's when you want to get in. And that may never come to pass too. You got to recognize, folks, being a patient trader, the downfall of being patient is that you miss a lot of opportunities, okay? But the ones you do catch are super awesome, and it's great to be able to have that. Speaking of which, we took some nice profits yesterday from Solana, 22% in 5 hours yesterday, of course. We shorted 248 to 237. It was a 5x leverage trade. So let's take a look here at SUI, see what's going on. And obviously you didn't see any indication that we shorted this coin because we never short SUI, at least not anymore. I'm like 2 for 4. I'm basically 50% on my shorts for SUI last year. And I don't like that kind of statistics. That's terrible when it comes to trading because after fees, you're going to basically be in the red. So not worth shorting SUI ever. Just some friendly advice. Probably don't do it. Even though there was a lot of signs recently that the price is going to pull back, and it did. It's good to be right in that case, but it's also good to avoid a garbage fire or a dumpster fire, as the market has been lately too, folks. I mean, my gosh, look at Bitcoin. Look at this trash. Bitcoin cranking up, cranking down, cranking up, cranking down. Doesn't know what the hell it wants to do. So even though I think it's probably going to continue higher, and when a lot of the shenanigans are over with the inauguration being done, it's still a big mess. Okay, so it's hard to trade into that, honestly. So again, thank you to my community for being patient with me and not sending as many signals lately. This month has been a very weird, strange, unique, worse than a lot of months I've traded in the past. There always seems to be 2 or 3 months in the year that's like, this is just garbage. Anyways, all that aside, let's take a look at liquidation and see what's going on. Please, folks, before we get started, hit the like button, maybe comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are here on SUI. So last 7 days, we can see 515 to 585, again, heavy concentrations of shorts adding in. They're pretty obvious here. I mean, these short sellers, they can't seem to get the hint. This coin is not worth shorting. Granted, obviously you probably have found plenty of profit recently shorting, but it's inherently more risky when you short this coin. So I don't necessarily recommend that, but regardless of that recommendation, there's a lot of shorts that could get liquidated here just above the local high, about 513. So 513 to $6, easy round number to remember. When we take a look at liquidation delta, while it's sharply dissipating, we can see here that it's still higher. In other words, we have more shorts than longs in the market right now. All the more reason why the price is going to continue higher based on that natural equilibrium that has to adjust itself, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the price continue higher up. We take a look here at SUI. You can see, what do you know, open interest heavy at 475. Well, this is technically 473, but you can see the price action rejecting here too as well, right? There's no doubt that that's how it goes. And the reason why, because that's exit liquidity, right? People want to sell their position, break even because they've been in the red for quite a while. So just please understand that there's there's a lot of resistance at 475 as a easy round number to remember, and I would recommend not taking a long into that. Take a long after that level's been broken. Okay, daily time frame. Let's see what's going on. Quickly to note here, we're back up over the 50-day SMA, and as I mentioned before, closing below that is a bearish sign. But once more, you don't just FOMO into a bearish sign because you're under one indicator and then the rest of the market is bullish, right? You don't do that. So it's the equivalent of taking a short on a bear flag when every other indicator is like fully bullish. You don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. It's a false positive, right? So try not to convince yourself that patterns, or in this case, being below an SMA for a half a day is that big of a deal. It's premature. You want to look at other things too. We're back up over 50 in the RSI for the moment. Today's candle hasn't closed yet, but this is generally a favorable sign. We can see MACD is also trying to converge, but hasn't yet. 4-hour time frame. We want to recognize this too here, that we are under majority moving averages. Actually, only at the 100. Correction. The 50 and the 20 are right there at about 467. So a closure above 467 may actually be a pretty positive sign. That would put us above those moving averages and just generally letting us know that the potential for this descending trend is greater to be broken than it is if we close below that, right? Same thing here as well with the RSI. We can see RSI is increasing. Back up over 50 as well in the 4-hour. Generally favorable. We can see the money flow index bouncing, stochastic swinging up, MACD converging. These are all a lot of reasons why a long position makes way more sense than a short right now, pending Bitcoin doesn't dump to some pretty low levels. Obviously, we never truly know if that's going to happen. Bitcoin looks pretty bullish. If you take a look at my playout chart here, you'll recognize that we're in pretty good shape in the overall sentiment. Closing above 106 would be phenomenal. We're already over that for the moment, and there's a lot of liquidation between 110 and 116. And again, liquidation delta is shifting from bearish to bullish. So I think Bitcoin is back on track for the most part. And if that holds true, SUI will probably continue. We saw a nice little rally here in the last couple of hours too. So let's double check one last confirming factor, call it a day for you. Ichimoku cloud, let's confirm. We are not above the cloud yet. This is very premature. We always want to have at least 3 hours to 4 hours of confirmation above. What I mean by that is let's maintain this range for at least 3 or 4 hours before we consider taking along and getting too crazy to the moon, as they say. Because at this point here, we have a lot of volume going into the resistance. That's awesome. But we also need to be able to aggregate and get more volume here at this level to be able to sustain it, right? Because again, with this open interest here at 473, 475, I'm not super convinced that we're breaking out just yet, even though it looks fairly indicative that we are, right? Again, best practice, maintain above the cloud for at least 3 or 4 hours, and then consider taking your position. But if you want to FOMO in now, make sure it's a low position size, low leverage, so you're not putting too much in at one point. If you've ever heard the term, don't put all of your eggs in one basket, you generally don't want to ever do that in the crypto market, unless it's a spot bag at a key level support, which we've already kind of hit. All right, we talked about this yesterday. This 425 mark was highly contested. All right, folks, I'll post a playout chart in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here shortly. Join us over at Bitunix if you haven't already. Awesome trading bonus here this month. Next month will be a trading deposit reward. And then, of course, you want to become part of our Trading Academy Community Signals group here. Links down below, cryptocash.tech is a site. I look forward to working with y'all. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. Take care.